Greetings and welcome to this 8th episode of our Ethiopian run here in the Horn of Africa. If you have followed the previous episode, you already know that the Empire of Ethiopia has currently a number of big problems, starting from our economy. In the previous episode, I already tried to address the issues with our budget, but still I believe that there will be the need of additional adjustment in the course of this new episode. But also we have a bigger problem, and this problem has a name. It's called France, a country that has already ruined our plans when it comes to colonialism. In the past we tried to colonize Turkana in the Rift Valley, but then basically our colony was destroyed by the advance of the French armies in the region. And in the last episode we were trying basically to do the same. We were trying to place a colony here in Toposa, and guess what happened now? This lovely diplomatic play of France in the Nile region exactly against Toposa. Every time we try to target a territory to place a colony, they just come there and try to ruin our plans. I don't think that I will join this war, but in any case I think that in the future we will also try to move against France. Even if we are at a disadvantage, even if this might mean the end of our adventure here, but we really have to stop this bullying from France. Basically, France is the big bully of Africa, as you can see. So the very first thing that we can do at this point is to start decreasing the relationship with France. And at some point, I might even try to expel their diplomats. Also, back to the topic of the financial situation, you should know, if you have seen the previous episode, that we have a shortage of iron and hardwood, and also tools, of course, are requested as well. So I cannot really expand further my iron mines because the only place where I can do it is Somaliland, which right now has a terrible market access, and I cannot really fix it. So what I was thinking to do in order to decrease then the demand of iron, as I cannot increase the offer, is to go back to buildings, construction sector, and start building again wooden buildings instead. Another thing that I want to do is to start also working on the development of our barracks. What I would like to do is to change the production method of our barracks from irregular infantry to line infantry. If in the near future we are really going to fight France, we have at least to move to line infantry. But of course then if we move to line infantry, we will need to have more small arms. And of course, in order to have small arms, where it is, here it is, we need again iron and hardwood. That's why I'm reducing the iron consumption from the construction center. And for the hardwood, we will still need to work on that in parallel. Diplomatic play. Diplomatic action. Expel diplomats. France. Diplomatic play. Conquer state. Kenya. And Portugal might join us. So let's see. I'm crazy, guys. I will immediately try to sway Portugal. Also, Austria will be with us. Merina Kingdom, not bad at all. Of course, because Merina Kingdom was attacked by France in the past, so they still must be very salty. We will mobilize all generals already and activate all conscript. I don't care. I really don't care. At this point, we have to solve this problem with France. I prefer to lose, but with honor, rather than keep being bullied. In this way, they will have two wars in parallel in the area, not only with Toposa, but also with us. We unlocked central archives, which of course improve our taxation capacity, so this of course helps us, considering that we have problems with budget. And here we can sway countries. So Austria is no longer with us, unfortunately. But we can get Merina, and we can get also Portugal. Portugal has a strong navy. Offer obligation. Okay, Portugal is with us. Let's see if we can bring also Austria. They also want obligation. Let's do it. Austria is with us. Aha! Should I also bring Merina Kingdom? Obligation to Merina Kingdom. I want everyone on my side. Very good, also Merina Kingdom is with us. And for the first time I can take actually the industrialist to the government, because now finally they are no longer marginalized. This is very good. Let's do it. I will lose a lot of legitimacy, but I could also kick out the Oriental Orthodox Church. Let's do it. And maybe we can finally try to leave isolationism. That will be epic as well. We should try with mercantilism here. It will be a pity now to destroy the Iran with this war against France, now that we have maybe the chance of passing the law in the future for having mercantilism and open up the market. Because the main issue, all these issues we had until now with Ethiopia are related to the fact that it's an isolationist country, and so we have to produce everything internally, and not having coal, for example, it undermines our development. If we will have the possibility to operate in the market, then we will be able to get resources that we do not have without the need of expanding further. War with France has broken out. The Poles, of course, is clearly losing, but now they have to defend on several fronts at the same time. I still think that we will struggle, but who knows. The Ethiopian Amhara insurrection. Slaves have risen up in Ethiopian Amhara. That's definitely a wrong timing. They are not a significant force yet, and there are multiple ways to approach them. Negotiate with the revolt's leaders to defuse this. Raising concerns. The petite bourgeoisie have expressed their concern about government decision clearly favoring the interest of the industrialists. We will stand all the way with the industrialists. They need to accept that we cannot always please everyone. Petite bourgeoisie will lose political strength and approval. Unfortunately, Portugal is completely destroyed here. Well, I'm not really sure what Merina Kingdom is doing. Okay, while Portugal is doing poorly, it seems that Austria is at least getting some progresses here. But it's quite clear that Portugal is in difficulty here, and they will never manage to contribute significantly to this war. And unfortunately, there is not much that we can do. France is still managing to penetrate our territory. Only a few victories with Austria, but France is clearly in control right now. As I was saying, the clear advantage of France in terms of numbers and quality is playing the difference. Even Austria is not able to contain them. If something will happen against France while we are fighting this war, maybe this war can take a different direction. Inefficient agriculture. The industrialists have started complaining about the existence of subsistence farms in Ethiopian Equatoria. And of course we should follow their advice. And at this point I think I should probably capitulate. Yeah, now France is easily penetrating our front. Terrible. Capitulate. Do you want to capitulate in the Ethiopia versus France war? All war goals against your country and subject will be automatically enforced. Yes. Law proposal causes uproar in Oromo communities. Claiming that the enactment of mercantilism will affect the country's Oromo inhabitants in a disproportionately negative way, Oromo firebrands have riled their communities against the current law proposal. I don't care. And their votes concern us how? Force the issue though. Plus 10% enactment success chance. We need it. I know that we have many radicals, but we really need to get access to resources via market, as we cannot manage via colonialism or via war. Our GDP is still growing. Literacy 39%. Standard of living are a little bit decreased. Population, I mean, I will say that the population was not affected by the war. This is positive. Let me see how I can improve the situation of the lower strata. Clothes, definitely clothes and furniture are the big issues. We have 16% of chances of passing mercantilism, and we have a total of 55 convoys that cannot wait for this to be passed, so finger crossed. But unfortunately, we don't manage to pass it at this round. Unequal treaties. Taking an interest in the newly opening Ethiopian economy, France has proposed a trade agreement that seemed initially equitable. On closer inspection, it contains numerous unfavorable clauses that were never agreed upon. Of course, France, what can I say? They are bullying us since the beginning of this run. So if I go with outrageous, the relationship deteriorates by 30, and we don't manage to pass the law. Politely reject the treaty, minus 20% of enactment success chance. Such a joke. Ethiopian relations towards France improved by 30. Ethiopia owes obligation to France. Can you imagine? We are paying them the war reparation. They have screwed us a number of times, and now we even have to give them obligations. It's ridiculous. At some point, France will pay for their sins. There is no doubt about that. But I will sign the treaty because I really want mercantilism to be passed, so I don't want to affect the enactment success chance. France is really like the bully of the situation. But moreover, they're infamous right now. They have 29 points of infamy. And as you can see, France continue expanding. Now it's the time of Nuer. I was right. Then they will include Dinka, etc, etc, etc. So it's really incredible. If some big power does not step in and start kicking France in the butt, they will take over the entire continent. There are no doubts about that. Diplomatic tour. The ruling industrialist led by the charismatic Hamad Turnsa has initiated a great promotional tour. Plus 10% of influence. Yeah, but right now we are not really even using it. So let's go for the industrialist. Let's strengthen their position. Plus 14. Emperor intervenes in political process. The emperor has taken a personal interest in the ongoing debate concerning mercantilism and have resolved to use his royal prerogative to ensure the law passes. I could damage the intelligentsia and get plus 20% of enactment success. Let's do it. I'm sorry, intelligentsia, but after all, it needs to be passed this law. But yeah, at least we got to 36% of chances. Maybe in the next round we will manage finally to pass mercantilism. And at least we are progressing here and continue building our colonies in the Ethiopian Equatoria. Mangbetu is quite distant from us at this point, and France managed to cut the road to Mangbetu, but still, at least we are colonizing. Prejudice employers. Yao people are having a hard time getting employed in Gondar due to the prejudice of some Hamara employers. I could reduce my authority or reduce the standard of living of Yao people in Gondar, and of course I sabotage my authority once again. I've done already in the past. Defensive pact from Merina Kingdom. This is an interesting offer. In the meantime, France managed, of course, to install their treaty port there. And they're trying to use the obligation to make us accept this defensive pact, but I will accept anyway. in an anti-France perspective. Funny how sometime life put you in a completely different situation. We wanted to actually declare war on Marina Kingdom some time ago, and now we even make the defensive pact with them because of mutual interest, I will say. Plus because we are obliged. I don't know why I keep believing that we will manage to enact mercantilism, even though we have a 35% of chances, and we keep missing every single opportunity. So honestly, it will be time to close the episode for today, but then I was thinking, why not having a very short expansion? Let's start a diplomatic play, a rapid war, and let's see if somebody else joined them. This should be a rapid war, that's why I'm starting it now, because it could be perfect to close the episode after the heavy defeat that we had with France. Yeah, they have better technology. Even though they have better technology than us, we are managing to penetrate easily in their territory. In the meantime, we have the capitulation of Ausa, and as you can see, we managed to have another little expansion here. And here we can start incorporating the Ethiopian Eritrea. This will be completed in 24 months. And this is probably the last action for today. Our country is doing fine. I mean, still has some structural problem, but we are managing to survive, and we have reached the rank 36 in the world. But let's see in the next episode how things develop. And of course, as always, I hope to see you there. And if this will be the case, see you in the next video. Cheers.